Let me know when you guys are there, if you could hear the audio. We'll talk about Safe Haven. We'll talk about Vechain. So if you guys can hear me, let me know. Good morning to all of you. Blessed Friday. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Awesome. 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 Good morning, buddy. Good morning, Gail. All right, so I'll start in about 10 seconds. Get this thing started. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so let's start with Plair. Let's start with Plair. If you look at Plair right now, and if you look at Safe Haven, and you see, I spoke about this probably 2 videos ago when talking about Oceanex for the enterprises for coming in dealing with Vechain. It's a big deal for Vechain, right? Oceanex, where it's like a one-stop shop. You go in, instead of buying over the counter, buying from Binance and then switching it over and doing all these things. So Oceanex has longevity. Oceanex has longevity. If you believe Vechain has longevity, if you're long on Vechain, then you should be long on Oceanex. I repeat, if you're long on Vechain, then you should be long on Oceanex. Now, with that being said, there's times to plant, there's times to wait. I know some people get impatient, but there's times where you're like, wait a minute, even though it's up right now, there's still a lot of room for growth, and we've been talking about. I mean, for example, I think Qcoin is at $100 million market cap or something like that, and Oceanex is I don't know where it's at right now, but it's been fluctuating from like 6 million. So you can see there's a lot of room for growth, especially when we're talking about, and it's a beautiful house, especially when we're talking about coming from the VeChain ecosystem. You know what I mean? So Oceanex is, to me, and a lot of people are going to realize it's going to be bullish for Plair, for Safe Haven, right? So this is where it gets a little complicated. This is where that maturity comes in. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just my humble opinion, right? So this is where it gets a little bit complicated, right? How does one go at this? Do you just start unloading Plair to get into Oceanex? Do you unload Safe Haven now just to get into that Oceanex while everything's going green on Oceanex? Do you unload Vechain and go into Oceanex, right? I know some of you have been thinking about that. Do you go all in on Oceanex now, just looking at the market cap? That's something I cannot answer for you. But you have to be careful, but also at the same time, high risk, the greater reward. I'm not that type of person. I like risk things. Patient. I'm a patient individual, and I'm balanced. I like to take a balanced approach. So you have to be very careful, not get caught up in the FOMO. When things go up, things go down. So right now I'm looking at Plair, right? And a lot of people, what they're doing is they're dumping their Plair, they're dumping their Safe Haven, and they see Oceanex taking off. And then I told you about what would happen with Vechain once the news comes out, and then that might take off, and then there's going to be more of a dumping system. I'm going after the red. Whatever I'm seeing red, and I believe and has, for example, Plair, things like that, that I believe in, I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to take what the market is giving me, right? I do believe that, again, Oceanex, something to really consider, something to really research. And if you're long on Vechain, then you should really be long on Oceanex. I think they're really handcuffed to each other. But again, what's bullish for Oceanex, you got to see this, is going to be bullish for Plair in the long run, right? If Oceanex turns out to be the next Binance, right? But just under the Vechain umbrella, then you know that Plair and Safe Haven and Tick and whatever ones you believe in, right? Whatever ones you believe in coming from the VeChain ecosystem, you know that they will have their day in the sun. They will shine and they will go up in value. That's what I believe. That's what I'm expecting. But it takes patience, right? It takes patience. Right now, if you're holding Plair and you're holding Safe Haven, you're like, man, Oceanex is taking off. I should have had more of my things on Oceanex. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to dump everything and get Oceanex. That right there is kind of reckless. That's not showing patience. That's just going with the flow and not sticking to what you believed in. Why were you in Safe Haven? Why were you in Plair? Why were you in those things beforehand? Now you just see something pumping and you go for that. That's one of the things that we have to train our minds to not be, well, I see green and screw it, I gotta go after it with everything I got or else I'm gonna miss it. That takes experience, that takes some patience. But again, I will say this, if you're long on VeChain, you should be long on Oceanex. But I'm telling you what I'm doing, not financial advice. I'm going after red, going after Plair, and things of that nature. You're going to give me Plair at these prices, I will absolutely take Plair at these prices. You understand? I mean, crazy. And one day, 5 months from now, 6 months from now, 7 months from now, whatever it is, I believe I will have a great harvest. You understand? I believe I'll have a great harvest. Now let me check some of your questions. Let me see. I saw some people. Yeah, while they dump, you pick up. Good morning. Good morning. The charts are very interesting. Potential breakout seems perfectly. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Listen. Again, VeChain. That's another one. I mean, sitting at where it's at right now, I'm saying it's severely undervalued. Severely undervalued. Longevity. I'm more into the longevity of things. Okay, so I see the longevity. I see prosperity, abundance for the future of VeChain. That's what I see, right? So 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, right? And right now, I know you're like, man, but why isn't VeChain pumping? Man, but why isn't this happening? I've been holding for so long. I've been this and that. Yeah, it takes time. It takes patience. This is if everybody was to get rich doing this, everybody would be doing it. You understand? You have to be patient. Again, not financial advice. You do what you got to do, but you got to have patience and you got to see it. Um, Not looking at the price, look at the news, look at what's going on. And then from there, you can kind of see what's going to happen in the future. And then you'll remember 3 years from now, 2 years from now, you're going to be like, wow, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I saw this. I'm so glad that while everybody was going on in that direction, I was accumulating something that was just not only in the bottom floor, but in the, just compounded and just digging another hole, going underneath that bottom floor and accumulating something like Plair. Knowing what's coming, kind of having that that foresight, that vision is very, very important. You have to have that vision. If you can't see it, you're going to be like the waves of the sea. You're going to be back and forth, jumping from this person what they say and that person what they said. But you need to have that determination. You need to have that anchor where you're like, you know what? I have this settled. I figured it out. I like this. I know where this is going. I believe in this, and I'm going with my educated information, with the research. I'm gonna go with this, and this is what I stick on. And one day I'll have a harvest. I'm not gonna just jump from tree to tree just because someone else said, "Hey, you know what? Jump." Oh, you know what? It's green. I'm jumping. I'm gonna jump. Shouldn't be like that. That is that's very, very immature. That is very, very immature. And if you do that in the long run, you will get burned. Just jumping from tree to tree. Now, if you have plans, and I see somebody talking, Matthew Bennett. By the way, yes, crypto works in 4-year cycles. Absolutely. You have it, you understand it. And I've been talking about that. We, and I'm going to touch on that since I was talking about, I'll touch on that a little bit because we probably have more VeChain people in here and maybe haven't heard me talk about this, but I'm already talking about, and I mean this with all respect and all reverence to God, if He allows me. But with that being said, the plan for now is I'm already thinking about 2024. I'm already thinking about the Bitcoin halving in 2024. I'm already thinking about the Bitcoin Cash halving in 2024. I'm already thinking about the Litecoin halving in 2023. I'm already thinking about the lows of Litecoin in 2022, getting in Litecoin 2022, preparing for the Litecoin halving in 2023. I'm already preparing for the Bitcoin lows in 2022, 2023, Bitcoin Cash lows in 2022, 2023, should be VeChain lows around that because the whole market did. I'm already preparing for that. I'm already preparing for those lows when they drop to get back in. But again, you plant, you got to know when to plant, and you got to know when to take profits. That's harvest time. A lot of people know when it's the time to plant, but they don't know when it's time to take profits. They don't know. You know what? I'm just going to hodl the whole thing. Hodl, hold, whatever the word is. To me, that's not smart. To me, that's not smart. And if you want to get some, you want to age very quickly, you can do that. But take profits. You can see the charts. You can see it. You can see it. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. No, Bitcoin is always going to be, listen to me. Here's the thing. Bitcoin already has the eyes of a lot of. Give me 1 second. Let me turn the car off. I thought I was going to stop the video right here, but let me just touch on this for a little bit. Bitcoin, listen to me. Bitcoin's going to go up in value. Now, here's the thing. There's going to be price corrections. So, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing. I have a certain amount of Bitcoin to take profits, and I have a certain amount of Bitcoin that I'll just to hold and see. Well, wait a minute. Maybe this bull market might be extremely rare, and this might be the whole mass adoption where it just really, 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 really takes off, and you're expecting $100,000 Bitcoin, and it goes to like 500,000 in one shot. With of course price corrections, but not a bear market. You understand? Just corrections. So this is what's really interesting about this bull market that is going to take place in 2020. Okay, and I go by the chart that I've been telling everybody to look at, right? This is what's going to be really interesting about this one is that you have Backed, you have Fidelity, you have things like Facebook, you have a lot of attention to cryptos. So this one, just in case, it's like having, 50% Bitcoin taking profits at around, let's say 60, 70, whatever, 80,000, 100,000 Bitcoin, right? And then you're like, wait a minute, this one might be different. Looking at the price corrections, this could be a little different bull market. This could be the big bull market where it does a lot of price corrections and it just keeps on going for a while, for a bit, right? So this one's going to be, this one could be very different. So you have to have that planned out. You have to have that planned out. But with that being said, smart money always takes profits. And I remember someone saying, well, some of us don't have enough to buy one Bitcoin, or we don't have, Bitcoin. But again, when we're talking about bull market, when Bitcoin takes off, uh, all the other coins take off as well. But there is this time where the market bleeds and everything goes into Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin kind of dumps with the corrections and then comes back into the altcoins. And then that's where you're gonna have to have that muscle memory and feel it out. You understand? But yes, this when this thing takes off, the crypto market, I used to say this. I don't know if I should say it anymore, but I used to call it and I don't mean anything by, I'm not trying to be, maybe it's an immature statement, but I'm just trying to uh, give it, I guess, like the perfect adjective or perfect explanation for this. This is what I used to call the Superman cocaine. This is crazy, right? You see the market when it dips and when it breaks out, it's just crazy. It's very vicious, right? It's like it's a very vicious um, movement, and when it gets parabolic, it's like wow, wow. So you have to have plans and be prepared for this, okay? Because these are I live in South Florida, right? So when you know a hurricane's coming, you gotta prepare for the hurricane. And when it's something like a category 4, category 5, it's coming. So you got to prepare for it. You got to put the shutters up. You got to, tie some trees down. You got to evacuate. You got to prepare for it, right? So as, as holding cryptocurrencies and being part of the blockchain investment, you got to prepare for these things that are coming in advance. Okay, you got to prepare for this, and that's why I'm already talking about 2024, 2022, 2023. Already looking at the past, looking at the charts, seeing where that hurricane has done already, seeing the pattern, where it's gonna go, what it's gonna do, and you got to prepare for it. And for 2020, you should have already been preparing for it. You should have already been preparing. What am I going to do? If you have no preparation for what's about to happen, you're in a bit of trouble. You know what I'm saying? You got to really take this serious. Take it serious because uh, I believe in May and April and the months leading up to that, it's going to get a little bit, I wouldn't even say a little bit. You're going to start feeling the winds, all right? You're going to start feeling the pressure. You're going to start feeling a lot of things coming, and you can almost anticipate it. So, but you got to start preparing. What am I going to do? Everybody's in a different bracket. You understand that, right? What's reasonable for you might not be reasonable for me. What's a great blessing for me might be nothing to you. You understand? So what's a great blessing to you might not be what I want. You understand? So you have to figure out what's best. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just common sense. Common sense. You have to figure out what's best for you and your family and think about it and just please be grounded and do your own research and don't jump from this person's perspective to that person's perspective. Just do your own research. All right, guys. So just to recap, I wanted to talk more about Vechain and Safe Haven and Plair and Oceanex. So let me just recap what I was saying in the beginning of the video, and then I'm going to close it here. If you're long on Vechain, you should be long on Oceanex. And here's the thing, though. If the market is going to give me already a severely underpriced, in my opinion, Plair and things of that nature, then I'm going to take advantage of that. And what's happening is people are dumping just to get onto the green, and I understand it. So I understand both angles. I'm just more, I guess I'm trained in the sense where I look for the bargain more. And if I believe in something yesterday, just because it's red today doesn't mean I'm going to change my mindset. My mindset has not changed, right? When Bitcoin was at 4,000, 3,000, my mindset did not change on Bitcoin, right? That's what I'm trying. And I know Plair and Bitcoin are totally different, but my mindset has not changed on Plair. I still believe, just like when it was where it was 2 weeks ago, I still believe in it now. So if I see a greater price, if I can get more for Plair right now, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to go after it even more. So that's all I'm trying to say, right? So for me, I guess the word is the fundamentals haven't changed. My belief in Plair and why I believe it will have great returns for me, not financial advice, on my investment, it hasn't changed. Has not changed. Not one bit. So I understand. Now, that takes experience, that takes grounding, that takes research, that takes all of that and putting it all together. And that takes a plan, having a plan, and not just jumping from tree to tree. All right. So just wanted to touch on that. All right, guys. Have a blessed Friday. And hopefully tomorrow we'll touch base again. Buy red, sell green. Yeah. Now, I would love to get, you know what? Man, should I close the video? It's 23 minutes. I don't want to keep on going. It's a little bit too long. But I would love to keep on talking about this. And you know what? Let me just say this again. Because I really, when I repeat things, the reason why is I really wanted to get deep down into your spirit. I want to sow that seed where it gets into your spirit and you really understand. And I'm going to use Bitcoin as an example again. When Bitcoin was at 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, my belief in Bitcoin did not change, right? When I saw Bitcoin Cash at 100, now there's different reasons. I'm going to stick to Bitcoin because I'm not going to talk about Bitcoin Cash because people get lost there. So let me just talk about Bitcoin. My belief in Bitcoin did not change. I know that this is a great value for Bitcoin. When you see Vechain at these values under a penny, the three, after the switching of the coin, the circulation and the amount, now we're under a penny. My belief system in Vechain has not changed. You understand? My belief in Vechain has not changed. It's the same thing for Bitcoin. When you saw it at 3,000 and then, by next year or close to the end of the year, and you see Bitcoin around 60, 70, 80,000, around those numbers, you'll be like, wow, I should have been going after Bitcoin, or I should have kept my Bitcoin, or I should have kept my Vechain. I should have not sold. That's what I'm talking about. Just because you see something red right now should not change why you believed in it. Why did you get involved in Vechain? Why did you get involved in Bitcoin? What was it that you believed at those prices? What and now why would you sell at the bottom? You understand? I don't understand that. I never understood that. If anything, I get more excited. I get more again excited because I'm like, wow, here's the bargain. Here's a bargain. This should be at, at least at a certain price, and I'm getting it 80% off the price. Yes, absolutely. Gonna gonna go. I'm gonna go after that with you know with with intelligence and execute and plant. The plans that I have and get some fiat and plant some more there. Absolutely, absolutely. Again, if you've never heard this, uh, this is something. Again, this is not financial advice. This is something well known, but sometimes we need to hear it again. Uh, when people are fearful, and I'm going to say it like this because I don't like to give advice to people like, hey, you should do it like this. But this is something that Warren Buffett has spoken about. When people are fearful, and people who are in the markets understand this, but it takes experience. When people are fearful, that's when I'm greedy. That's when I'm greedy. But when people are greedy, that's when you should be fearful, right? Understanding that and really applying it, right? There's one thing of knowing it, second thing, understanding it, and the third thing is really doing it, right? You can know it, you can understand it, but are you doing it? That's three things right there. You need to understand, you need to know it first. If you don't know it, how are you going to understand it? Then you got to understand it. And if you understand it, then you got to apply it, do it. But everybody, at times, and I understand FOMO. I understand when we see green and we don't want to miss out. It really takes experience, it takes determination, and it takes planning. All right, guys. I don't want to go past 30 minutes again. Have a blessed Friday. Be blessed. Remember to be humble, be humble, be humble, and be humble. And you know what? Be humble. All right? Remember, pride will bring you down. The proud get brought down. The arrogant get brought down. But if you want to be exalted, if you want to be lifted up on high, be humble. Be humble. All right, guys. Be blessed.